Pallegney, and I've skipped ahead a day, no, a week, since the last video, and the herb grass has started to grow in, which is kind of cool. It's looking pretty good. I'm wondering if rolling it was a bad idea because we've lost that nice green background. Hopefully that'll come back as it grows in a bit more. Interestingly, so far, we're not seeing any weed activity on the map, which kind of surprises me. But maybe that'll come in later. We're still in April, so that's the first field that I've looked at so far that's showing any real signs of activity. Looks like the grass is growing in a similar amount as well, and that's looking pretty good. Kind of like that texture. None of the crops that we've planted are particularly showing signs of life. Corn's not really. We'll just cut through the back here because this might let us quickly get down to the carrot field. Just have a quick look at that. And then, yeah, the plan for... It looks like carrots are looking pretty... Yeah, still not really any signs of life there either. So, the plan is to... We didn't actually look at the alfalfa field, did we? No. Let's head back to the farm. Back through here. Let's go have a quick look at the alfalfa field. Which is down this way. Over here, around here. Because I think this needs fertilizing, so... Yeah, this could do with a bit of fertilizer. Seems to be somewhat dormant at the moment, but it is early in the year, so we'll stick the sprayer on the back of the fence, get some liquid fert in that, get that sprayed, and then I'm going to skip ahead into May, and with our first month transition, rather than week transition, we might see some things start to come to life. I'm not sure. That's not me trying to do some kind of major, whatever. Genuinely not sure. But let's why can't I see the store markers coming up? Let's there we go. Let's buy a couple of IBCs of maybe one will be enough actually. I have no idea how much this sprayer holds. I've not used this stuff before, so not liquid fertilizer, this stuff. So kind of looking forward to that. Now, I believe this thing has the turning circle of a barge, but I've been looking forward to using this tractor since Giants released it, and this is kind of my first opportunity, so let's have a little play. I did get the front loader for it, and then I've gone and brought the JCB, so JCB telehandler, so oh yeah, that turns like another barge. So we maybe don't really need the front loader for this, but anyway. Let's get loaded up. Get some spraying done. So it's Saturday afternoon. So I'm recording this kind of straight after I recorded the ending of the last video. So yeah, been a busy old, bit like said last time, been a busy old morning doing support for Maze Plus, Terralife Plus. And yeah, now just kind of relaxing a little bit, enjoying actually playing with the mod, because the last time I looked, the English side had quietened down a little bit. Yes, I know I'm going to cut through my field. How bad of me. I'm a terrible person. The German side seems a little bit busier. Quite often seems to be the case, actually, that the German side is a little bit more popular. Not sure if popular is the right word, but yeah. Those guys do seem to have a little bit more work to do normally. So he says, and I'll probably log back into Discord in a bit and find that it's flooded with English support requests that the German guys have picked up for me. If it's a technical request, to be honest, they know better than I do. But, you know, I'm learning, as I said. Part of me doing this is so that I can learn how this stuff works to provide support. So, and yeah, it was kind of cool that first few videos have been really popular. Kind of disadvantage of that. A whole bunch of new people who kind of aren't used to my content, and the fact that, yeah, I sound like this, and it's not going to change. And not all my videos are made like this even, so quite often my commentary will be added afterwards. Yes, this is my real voice. I know, it sounds like this. Deal with it. Yeah. So, I'm sure there'll be people that will come along in a little while that will be more to your suiting. Go watch them instead. You know, I have a feeling, and, you know, he's actually really good. With Maze Plus, Scroft did some awesome videos. Certainly in FS19 he did a lot. In FS22 he didn't do quite so many, partly because he left the tutorial side to me, because I covered a lot of tutorial side. There will be a lot of tutorials coming soon. Trademark. But yeah, check out whatever Scroft does, because he's really good at getting to grips with complex mods like this. So, and yeah, I'm sure others will be getting to grips with it as well, because they get their minds around it. I did have the slight advantage, well, I had the massive advantage that I've had access to this in advance, and that I've been playing with it, and, you know, I can ask questions of the people that made it directly. So, but anyway, we are literally, I think today, going to be skipping through time until we get something more interesting to do instead. There's probably going to be some more spraying, because we do need to go spray the maize fields, but I want to wait until those crops have actually grown in a little bit, because they'll be a bit more interesting. You know, it's more fun than driving around a field that's just got some dirt in it. I really should have done a headlamp. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. I'll get to dealing with some more YouTube comments in a moment as well. They seem to be flooding in. It's the first time in a while that farm sim videos have been popular. I said the benefit of being the one that's got the videos available. I'm going to say again, I'm going to be saying this for a little while, that don't forget that your downloads of Terralife are contributing towards charity. So if, you know, make sure you're downloading from ModHub. Make sure you go rate them 5 stars, because that does make a difference to how much Giants pay, essentially, for the downloads. And everything that these mods make is going to charity. So, yep, you're kind of doing a good thing by playing Terralife. So that's cool, isn't it? You know. Yes, I've said it a few times, but I think it's worth hammering that, you know, because realistically, this is a mod that's getting a decent number of downloads, and the team could have just, you know, taken that little bit of money for themselves. It's not a lot of money. but giving it to charity is a good thing. And this is a very diverse team. You know, we've got the farming agency team that have done the work to make Terralife a thing. We've got the mappers that have donated their maps. So all the 4 maps that are available at the moment, the map makers have donated those to the project to be used, and for the income from them to go to charity as well. So, yep, it is a very diverse project. You know, we've got the likes of 4D Modding who have donated machinery and equipment. There's a whole load of others as well who I am forgetting because that's what happens. So yeah, there's lots of modders whose names I am forgetting, and I apologize if you're watching. It's not intentional. It's just my brain. Particularly this week, my brain is a pickled mess. It's slowly recovering from a pretty emotional week last week, and I'll remember at some point who all of the people are that have contributed. There is an extensive list on ModHub of those that have contributed, and I think it's really awesome that such a diverse group of modders can work together. And you know, like, this is such a cool map, and it's just been given to the project to show off and do cool things. And I think that's great. The same with the other 3 maps. Right, let's park this up. We'll leave it all on the tractor because we are just going to keep skipping time now. And let's go. Should I? No, I'm wondering whether I should just fly up in the air so we can actually see a few of our fields. But I'm kind of curious about the lupine. So let's skip some time and see how things look, shall we? See if we can make a little bit of progress today. There's some money going out of the bank. Not that it matters on here. Right, we have growth. And I'm really curious. Oh, and we're getting signs of weeds. So we have weeds growing in one of the cornfields. That's cool. I wonder if we haven't in the others because they might have been set to plowed. So we'll go up and take a look at that cornfield in a moment. But that's, you know, it's quite cool seeing the growth coming in. So the lupine's growing. Corn's growing. The grass is looking pretty lush. That looks mowable. We go back to growth and I guess turn on meadow. Still green, but and that looks pretty growable to me. Let's jump on the quad. Actually, let's not jump on the quad. Let's turn on. We've done enough realism is key for today. That's not really changed too much visually. That looks pretty similar as well. Grass, likewise. Head down to carrots. Carrots have started coming. Excellent. That's cool. And then let's just jump up to our other 2 fields. So all the winter wheat's looking good. That needs some fertilizing. That needs herbicide. And fertilizing. So do we let those grow a bit more? And come up and get some but on both of these fields. It's interesting that it's saying all tires and tracks. I think we're going to get crop destruction in there. I'm not sure that the additional crop info is working properly with Terralife. It probably doesn't understand the growth states, so I would ignore that. But yeah, now we've got a little bit of growth in the field. Not much, but definitely think we should get the wheat sprayed. So get back in here and I'll see you up at the field. I was going to head off to the field, and then I thought actually we probably want to put narrows on the tractor. So let's do that. Assuming they're an option, not in the Trelleborgs. Arrows, brilliant. Yeah. Otherwise, we might end up making even more of a mess. And I'm bound to make anyway, so. Now I will see you up at the field. Okay, we are here, and I got automatic application on. So let's pull it into the field, and because we've got narrows on, it's fine. But I'm pretty sure if we didn't, we would be destroying crop. As I said, I do not trust the additional crop. It's the crop growth info mod that's showing the tire information. And because Terralife completely changes all the growth states, I would not trust that information. So, yeah. Although it says all tires and tracks, I don't believe that at all. Yep. I don't think that is actually a reflection of what you can drive into the field with. I think if you did, you'd end up doing a lot of damage to your crops. But yeah, with the cornfield, I think we'll skip ahead at least a little bit more, get a bit more growth on the field. Maybe let those weeds grow up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm moderately curious if we brought in, although it says herbicide required, if we brought in a mechanical weeder as to how it would work. But I'm not sure I'm that curious. So, because mechanical weeding, unless we could get a 21 meter mechanical weeder, and then we could go around the tram lines. But it's just the one small field, so I don't think it's worth it. Yeah. It's kind of... I'm actually wondering when the harvest window is for... this is winter wheat, I think. Or is it winter barley? Winter wheat. If I get on that direction, let's check the calendar. Oh, we've got a while yet. We've got until July. Maybe August until this is going to be harvest ready. So, yep. But kind of cool seeing the textures of the crops. Did we drop that down? We can. Is that going to be too low? No, that's perfect. So, awesome. Did I mention? I know I did. I'm really enjoying playing with Terralife. And actually working towards running a farm with it. It's really cool. Really good. Yeah. As I say, this is the most I've played farm sim sort of back to back in a very long time. Generally, I tend to, will maybe play for like an hour or two a day. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's really not very much. I know. I have a full-time job. I have my pets. I have a family. family, and I have other games that I like to play. So, and so yeah, it's not the game that I play the most anymore. But right now, it kind of is. So, if I go on that heading, I'm not sure I'm going to be covering everything, but we can always loop back. So, I think that works. I just want to get on a heading with GPS, and then we'll correct whatever we miss. I think that's the best way to go. I think there's only like maybe 2 more strips to do. I did have to go back up the other side of the course that we set to do a little tiny bit, but yeah, really not a big field either, with not a huge sprayer. But anyway, covering the ground pretty quick, to be fair, and I'm really like, apart from the turning circle on this thing, it's kind of a cool bit of kit. It's kind of quirky. The design concept is weird. I assume the engine sits under the cab. I haven't looked, to be honest, about where it lives. But yeah, it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept. Those crazy Europeans, huh? With their weird kit. I like it. I wish we had more stuff like this. And I really wish we had like what am I? Am I 15? I really wish we had some of the JCB equivalents of this kind of stuff, you know, the sprayers that mount on the back, that kind of thing. That would be cool. Like in it. Tram lines are looking good. Tram lines are looking good. Oh, that ring of death, though. Might need to turn up the old graphic settings a bit. Oh, we should have a quick peek at the cow pasture, which is not that one. It's the next one down. We'll take the tractor, seeing as we're in it. Yeah, I'm playing on a different computer, and it maybe doesn't have the graphics cranked up as high as I normally would. But yeah, I wonder if it's time for us to get cows. Because that's, what, 19 of 28? Yeah, that's pretty grown in, isn't it? I think next time we'll get the cows delivered. It's a pretty big pasture as well. So, I think it's going to be a case of skipping time again. Can we thread the needle? Oh, look at that, like a pro. So I think what I'll do is I'll just skip some time now until things look interesting. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Skipped ahead 2 weeks, sorry. So we're now on week 3 of May. The meadow has advanced 2 growth states in that time. So I kind of feel like maybe we could be thinking about cutting that, but I'm not sure. But it's definitely growing nicely. And I'm now destroying it when I ride my quad bike across it, which is a thing. And the crop field info has changed to narrow only, so maybe we can believe that actually. So yeah, we've got a bit of crop destruction going on now, which is something we're going to need to think about. Sunflowers are starting to come up and looking kind of good. I've not checked the map actually for any more weed activity, so a little bit in one of the NPC fields and just our field that had some in already. So yeah, I'm going to have to pay attention now to not driving through our grass fields. The corn has come up a little bit more as well, which is the thing that prompted me to jump on and record some more. And I think that's looking really cool. That little texture, that actually looks like corn that grows near where I live, which is awesome. Oh, the lupine is up as well. Looking cool. That looks good. Like that. This is my first time seeing some of these textures, which is why I'm excited about it. So, and why I'm showing them off, because, you know, it's what this is partly about. Some of you might have seen them already, but yeah. Herb grass is growing, but not a significant change. We've still got that rolled texture underneath, which is a little bit... Might have to mention that to farming agency guys, because I'm guessing we should have the original green texture underneath that was laid down. But yeah, the grass is growing. We'll just cut down the side of this stack of bales and have a quick look at the alfalfa, and then we'll teleport over and look at the carrots. Yep, that's started to grow in as well. Awesome. I'll see you at the carrot field. So they pretty much look the same. So yeah, no real change there. I think I'm gonna I don't know whether to go tackle the weeds in the cornfield or whether to just let that grow on a bit more and push through to June. And then actually, if I spray the weeds now, and then in June I could do the... I don't know if I'm going to cut down the side of this field okay or not. You can see we're destroying the crop. Next I'm going to end up damaging that crop. Let's just back up. Can I cut down the edge of that? I'm now believing that I can trust the field info, so we'll just cut down the edge of this field. And yeah, what I think we'll do actually is we will load up some herbicide. And go spray those weeds, and then we can sort out doing the fertilizing at the beginning of June maybe, and then next time we can get the cows. That sounds like a plan to me. So I'm going to put the rest, hopefully the rest of that will fit in here. I shouldn't have done it that way, should I? I should have done it into... In fact, we're going to unload that. If I can get enough space. No, let me sort this out. They were back up at the cornfield, and you can see actually most of the weeds are in the tram lines, which is interesting. Not sure of the significance of that. It's kind of hard to see the tram lines at the moment, but we're going to try and stick to them even though we have our narrow tyres on. Because the idea is that by driving in the tram lines, we should cover the field perfectly. I do not have See and Spray, obviously, because this is an older sprayer, and See and Spray technology did not exist then, and I kind of don't care. Yeah, we'll probably get less yield off of the field, but this is about learning how Terralife Plus works. It's not about min-maxing everything. So really, I'm kind of spraying the weeds to see what happens when we spray weeds, rather than to kill the weeds necessarily. Well, obviously we are killing the weeds, but in killing the weeds, we will learn what happens when we kill the weeds. So, because different things might happen. So, yeah, we get some quite interesting patterns in the weeds. How many times can I say weeds? But I really like these new growth states. It's kind of a nice example of the additional growth stages that we get with Terralife, rather than crops growing in like 3 steps and being done. I think a lot of us found that quite frustrating with the base game, that really hard to tell how your crops were growing, because basically they went from ungrown to third grown to almost grown to ready. And behind the scenes, there would be intermediate changes, and you needed to have a mod running to be able to tell that. That's why I usually run the crop growth info mod, which we've got running here. But you might not need it so much with Terralife, because once you're used to it, you will be able to visually tell the difference. So who knows? I mean, the winter wheat looks slightly different to last time we were up here. Yeah, it's cool. And it's really weird for me. There's probably lots, but there are lots of non-regular viewers here who'd be skipping times so quickly. That might change when we get the animals, which I'm aiming for being the next video. I think that'll be a good plan. Let's turn that off, and we'll run down this road. It really does turn like a barge. But yeah, having a lot of fun around doing support in the Discord, which I've just jumped out of to come back and do this. The reoccurring problems seem to be still people running out of memory, which is like a direct switching to DirectX 11 seems to help, or run less mods. People, it's a mods folder, not a downloads folder, and you need to go back to, maybe if you didn't play FS19 forage extension, but we need to go back to forage extension rules. Only the one map in the folder, and only the mods you need to play with at the time. So if you're just starting up a save, by this point you might not be, but if you are, create a new folder for your mods, put the Terralife mods in, put the one Terralife map that you're going to be playing in there, not all 4 of them, the one, the required mods that go with it, and then the mods you think you need to get started, and go from there. Don't just throw the Terralife components and all 4 maps into your mods folder with whatever other junk is in there, because there's a pretty good chance you'll have problems. And that's most of the time the problems that I'm seeing when I look at log files. It's pretty clear that people have just downloaded Terralife and thrown it in a mods folder which is full of everything, and that doesn't work with a mod like this. This is far too complex a mod to be doing that. It's forage extension rules. 1 mod folder per map, and you keep that mod folder clean and to the minimum that you need. What have we got growing in the field next door to us? Parsnips with very nice tight furrows. Ridges is the word. Awesome. Anyway, I'll keep progressing time, and I'll bring you back the next time there's something to see. It's week 1 of June. The meadow grass that's next to the farm is ready to harvest, which is cool. The grass in the cow pen is also at that state, so definitely next time we will be grabbing the cows. The corn has grown on quite nicely. I'm keen to just quickly do a bit of jumping around to have a look at some of the other crops. So the lupine is growing quite nicely. Let's jump down to the grass. The grass is growing in the meadow pretty well. Let's just cut through here to the herb grass. I am still curious about where I rolled the grass, that we've got the rolled texture underneath still rather than the green. I'm wondering if that's going to go away once I have mown it. We can get back in the there we go, so we can drive. We've got narrows on, so we should be okay. Yep. And the corn is looking cracking. Now technically the entrance to the cornfield is up the top there, but I'm going to jump in here we now have nice visible tram lines to drive around to apply our fertilizer. So if I can find a forward gear, we can now get this fertilized. Why did I do this? Do you need to do this? No, you don't. I could have done what I did on all of the other fields, and we could have just had precision farming do automatic fertilizer application to take us straight to the correct value. I'm doing this because it gives us another job to do, and it just makes the farming a little bit more engaging. Otherwise, I'd have just been, well, actually, we could have maybe have jumped into a tiny bit of mowing. We have the tiniest patch of grass that is available to mow. I'm not even sure we'll get a single bale off of that. It's so small. Maybe I'll just leave it to grow until we have some actual grass to grow. To mow. There are a few things that we can maybe have a play with once we've got the cows in. I think when I get the cows, we'll chat a little bit about grazing, and I'll have to have a look in the XML and see the different grass types that they can graze from and that kind of thing. I'll try and do a bit of reading beforehand, and I might do a little bit of testing just so that I can try and give you a bit of useful information. Again, you may be way ahead of me, but for some people are either waiting to watch this and learn, or some people are learning along with me. So I'm going to keep doing it this way. If you are way ahead, you can help by commenting useful things. Try and keep the comments useful and constructive. I don't care if you tell me I'm doing something wrong. That's useful. But try and be constructive. Hey, yeah. Robot voice man, you know who you are. And now you've made yourself a little bit famous. You got your attention. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get this fertilized. There's another topic that I do want to talk about, but I need to do a bit more research, and that's compost. So you can make compost with Terralife. You do it in a bunker silo. So the little bits that I know, you do it from rotten bales. Bales do rot in Terralife. Over time, they degrade, and you end up with basically a precursor to compost in your rotten bale. And you can then put that in a bunker silo and turn it into compost. But you can also use greenings or grass clippings and bush clippings and stuff. So I want to have a look at where we can get that from, because maybe that's a little job we can do at some point. And it might be a case if we can go around and tidy up the farm a little bit, trimming the headlands back, cutting some of the bushes back, that kind of thing, because these bushes, they grow. So certainly before we get into harvest and stuff, we might want to go around the fields and chop back the headlands, tidy up a bit, like a real farmer would do. Yeah, it's cool seeing everything growing and coming to life. Yes, turning circle on this is horrendous. It's worse when you have that front tank on. Some of you have probably experienced this again, Do love this map. Yeah, the yard is quite small. The yard is quite small. As we start to get grass working kit in and stuff, it's going to get snug. But we'll work with it. I am probably going to have maybe larger than is necessary kit for some of these things to keep the jobs quick. Anyway, I'm going to get some fertilizing done. See you guys in a while. Once more up the hill with feeling, back to this same field. It's been so much time in this little field. Should be the last visit for a little while, until it's ready to forage, I think, unless the weeds come back. Not sure if they will or not, to be honest. I've got got vague memories of funny things happening with weeds with Terralife, so we'll see. But for now, we're just going to get it sprayed. So I bought a fresh IBC of herbicide so we could not herbicide, fertilizer, so that we could come up fully loaded, just in case we needed a reasonable amount. But it's quite a small field, so we shouldn't need that much. Yeah. So we'll just get the field sprayed, and that'll be it. Another bunch of progress, and next time the cows will be arriving. So I am a few videos ahead at this point. I think this will be me 2 videos ahead. I am going to try and aim to stay a few videos ahead, at least for a while, so that I can keep up with this daily schedule. And as much as we can, I want to try and get through at least a few weeks per video, maybe a month if we can. Really depends what's going to be happening. I don't know how long it's going to take us to do a year in dairy farming, but that's kind of the aim for this mini-series, is just to get through a year, just to see how things go. Obviously the cow won't progress that far in a year, but you'll get an idea of the kind of things that you need to do to be growing. And let's be honest, in the time that I've done this, a bunch of you will have progressed much further, as I said. And I will go back to regular farm sim content, because as much fun as I'm having playing this, actually making a video like this every day is slightly tiring for me. So, and there's this whole day job thing that I have to do as well. So that's why if I can stay a few videos ahead, it's good, because when the day job comes in, I can account for sometimes missing a day. So that's how that works. And I might end up regretting releasing 2 videos on release day, which is today still for me. So yeah, I'm recording this on Saturday evening to probably go out on Monday. Probably going to do another stint on Discord for a bit, and then I'm going to switch off and watch a bit of Christopher Odd. He's just started his Series 9 of XCOM 2, having kind of crashed and burned in Series 8, so yeah, looking forward to that. Because I'm kind of worn out from the bit of doing support that I've been doing, and I've not been doing the lion's share of it by far. So but it's been a very peoply day. And tomorrow, we run. We run away from our problems tomorrow. And for you, that will have been several days ago, but time travel's complicated. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I want to remind folks that if they need support, to use the links below for the Maze Plus Discord, and there are links for the support channels there. That's the place to go to get help. I cannot give help in the YouTube comments section. It's too complicated. And if you've enjoyed this video, click the like button. I'll see you next time.